Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to our Minnesota Twins discussion, Minnesota Twins talk. And if you're looking for a recap today for the game, well, surprise, there is no game today. Yesterday was opening day. They took a day off today, and they will be back tomorrow. So if you're looking for the recap, there will be an episode tomorrow. But if you're here, why don't you stick around, because I got a great episode for you, and we're going to be talking about one of two things. If you're in baseball, right? If you're a baseball fan, if you're just on the streets in general, there's something people say about the AL Central, right? There's two things, actually. One is, it is Cleveland's division, right? Cleveland is the top dog in that division. It's their division. They will win. Everybody else in that division is garbage. And the second thing they say about, the AL Central is it's a garbage division in general, which I'm gonna go ahead and agree with one of those things. But the other one, Cleveland, is not the top dog, especially anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, or explain to you why that is false. It is Minnesota's division to win this year. It's Cleveland's division to lose. And I'm going to go ahead and explain why it is all Minnesota in 2019. So let's go all the way back. Let's start in 2015-2016 season, where, we've started to develop these really young guys where we would push them, in a couple of years, like they are right now, to be superstars. Rosario, Kepler, Barrios, Buxton, Sano, those 5-6 guys that we've really put a lot of effort into. The last, 4 years. 4 years ago, they've started to finally develop. And we know this from last season when Rosario should have been an all-star. Kepler has been solid. I mean, he has done better against lefties than a lot of other players. He's come a long way. Buxton obviously still fast, and if he stays healthy, he'll be great. Sano's got his own problems, but what can you do? And Barrios, obviously, after yesterday's performance, pitching fantastic. So you've got these 4, 5, 6 guys that came up in 2016. They've had 3 seasons now to work with each other, and they're finally starting to get it. I know Rosario did last season. Barrios is just still solid, but all of it's starting to come together, except for Sano, but hopefully he can figure it out in the next month or so with his rehab, and we'll be back on track. So we start back then. All those guys who were supposed to come up, be superstars, they're finally developing, they're finally working together, and they are, succeeding. They're doing what we need them to do. Now let's skip to last season, where we went and made some trades. We got Tyler Austin to fill in at first base, because we all know how the Logan Morrison story went, right? That was atrocious. But we got him. We got Castro a couple years ago, right? I mean, we all know how we feel about that, but we picked him up. He's done okay. I mean, when he wasn't hurt, he did okay. So we've picked up some guys along the way. We've picked up some pitchers with Pineda and Odorizzi. We developed those guys into 3 and 4, solid middle starting pitchers. Now let's go to this season, where we picked up 4 new guys for the lineup. Just the lineup. We picked up a couple guys in the bullpen as well. But we went out and picked up 4 guys. We got Scope, Cron, Cruz, and Gonzalez. And then if you look at yesterday's opening day, right? Cron got a hit. Cruz got a hit. And Gonzalez knocked him in with a double. 3 of the 4 guys who we picked up for this season have already, won us a game. It's a long season, right? But hey, a win is a win, and I said that yesterday. 4 players have already made an impact on this Twins lineup. And then you look at the bullpen. We didn't even have to use Blake Parker or, Perez, but those 2 guys coming out of the bullpen are going to be great. One of them is the closer, one of them could be a long reliever. Those guys that we've picked up have really developed themselves through spring training and, their past seasons. Perez, he's done better. We got to give him some credit for that. Everything is starting to work together. Now, I told you, I said, this is Cleveland's division to lose. It is. Let me explain. So we talked about the Twins. They are on the up track, right? Now let's talk about Cleveland going down. How many players did they sell? I know this isn't a Cleveland talk video, but let's just go through the list. They've got rid of Michael Brantley. Kipnis is hurt. They got rid of Gomes. They got rid of Miller. They got rid of half of their bullpen. And all of those players is what made them successful, right? Because Cleveland's game, while yes, they have some pretty good hitters in Ramirez and Lindor, even though Lindor is hurt, they've got some pretty good pitching, right? Probably one of the best, if not the best, starting pitching rotations in all of baseball. I mean, you've got Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer, and Clevenger. I mean, you've got a couple guys coming out of the bullpen as well, or in previous years you did with Miller, Simber, Hand, last year in particular. Those guys really developed themselves and were very successful in that bullpen. That's how Cleveland won games, right? That's why they were so good. Their pitching shut down other teams' offense, especially in the AL Central where it's not that good. You've got, a rebuilding Royals, Sox, and Detroit Tigers. All three of those guys don't have, a superstar on their team that is going to carry them to victory. The Twins, like I said, they competed last year, but they were out of it by mid-April, and that didn't help them. They had a good lineup, but they really needed a couple pieces, and that's what we picked up this year. So, we have a good lineup. Cleveland has sold off. That's good. We went out and got some pitching. Barrios and Gibson got some run support now. We picked up some pitching in Perez, and hopefully Pineda will do good after coming off of Tommy John. Not saying that we can compete pitching-wise, pitcher to pitcher. Barrios, against Kluber, that was a fantastic matchup. Am I right, though? But I'm not saying we could compete pitcher to pitcher, but it really helps when our lineup is so strong and they have sold off almost everybody. Like I said, Brantley's gone. Gomes is gone. I don't know who else is on the Cleveland team anymore, to be honest. I was looking at the lineup yesterday. I mean, I recognized a bunch of these guys, like Ramirez, Brad Miller, all coming from different teams. They are really scrapping for players. But Lindor's hurt. Ramirez is pretty much the only guy, along with Santana, that really, define themselves as Indians. Edwin Encarnacion's gone. So, let's take a look now. You've got a Cleveland Indian team that is on its way down. I'm not saying they have to rebuild. I'm not saying they have to tank. But where do they go? They won how many games last year? 90, 89, 92, something like that. The Twins were right behind them. I mean, we won like 83 games. We were like 12 games back or something like that. But, we were right there. We were knocking on the door. And if we didn't go down so early, we would have been right there competing. Now look at 2019. We are already knocking at the door, right? Barrios versus Kluber. That is one of the best pitching matchups you'll see. We beat them. We single-handedly, three guys single-handedly beat Kluber. I'm not saying we'll do that every time, but Barrios pitching a perfect game into the fourth inning. Kluber also pitched a perfect game into the fourth inning. It's not always going to rely on, the pitching or the lineups. It's a combination of both, and the Twins have really developed themselves, gone out and traded for some players, gone out and signed some players that are really going to be key aspects to that lineup this year. So, why is this Cleveland's division to lose? Minnesota has only gotten stronger, right? They have not gone out and sold away their bullpen or sold away a couple of players. They got rid of Dozier because he was a free agent. They got rid of Mauer and Morrison. Obviously, both of them retired. Oh, Grossman as well. Both of them retired. Dozier, he's gone. But and then Logan Forsythe. Those are the guys we lost. And I'm not gonna lie. Dozier, it was tough to see him go, but he really wasn't doing as much as we needed him to at second base. He was hitting home runs, but we needed him to hit 35 home runs like he did in 2017. He wasn't doing it. Mauer, obviously, he's a great bat to have in the lineup, but we've adjusted. We've worked a power guy into the lineup. Cruz taking Grossman's spot or Morrison's spot at the DH. That's just even better. All the players that we've lost, we've gained back in some aspect. And that is why we are going to win. We are continuing to go this way. Cleveland is going this way. So they're going to pass each other eventually, right? And with a game lead on them, it's just going to grow, right? It's just going to grow with the next two games that are coming up this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, because we've got Gibson on the mound. That'll be a really good game. He's not a strikeout pitcher, like I said, but he is really going to work. And again, the lineup is good. Cleveland just does not have the star players they used to after trading everybody away or retirement or just getting old, like Edwin Encarnacion. I'm sorry, but I think it's time for retirement. Oh, anyways, that's not part of the video. Anyway, so that's all I got for you today, though. I mean, like I said, Minnesota's trending in the right direction, and Barrios beating Kluber, that's just the beginning, right? That is just the beginning. That's a tough matchup to win, and Barrios did. I'm not saying he'll do it every time, but one step at a time up the pyramid. That's all it takes, and we'll be at the top soon. So it is Minnesota's Division 2 win with all the moves that they've done, all the moves that Cleveland has done in the wrong direction. It looks like it's Minnesota's division to win, Cleveland's to lose, and things are looking good for 2019. But that's all I got. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the video, I'll be back tomorrow with another one. So make sure to come back for the recap tomorrow for the second game of the season. Hopefully we can get another win. And that's all I got for you today. I'll see you tomorrow.